Topic: Construction processes, arc welding electrode. At the end of the lesson, the learners should understand the following concepts: arc welding electrodes, basic arc welding principles, welding defects. Introduction. The purpose of this lesson is to expose the learner to the basics of arc welding. Concepts and skills. Arc welding electrode. Briefly describe an electrode/welding rod. An electrode is a filling rod with which the load is made. Consists of a metal rod covered with an insulating material called casing/flux. The purpose of the coating is to stabilize the current, melt impurities, helps to form slag, helps speed up the welding process. What is the purpose of the slag formed on the weld? Protect the molten metal from air pollution. Prevent the metal from cooling too quickly. Causes an even weld. Slag must be removed after welding with a hammer. Briefly describe each of the following terms. Arc flame or spark formed between the tip of the electrode and the metal to be welded. Shielded arc blue gas forming around the welding arc. Welding pool or welding bead. Place/pool of molten metal that forms directly under the electrode when an arc is struck. Penetration. When the metal being welded melts and the welding rod penetrates the welded object. Slag. Cover formed over the welded area during welding. Flux. Cover the welding rod. Tack weld. Weld the ends of two pieces to be welded to prevent the parts from shifting when you start welding. Welding run. A series of welding pools is called a welding run. Welding chipping hammer. Hammer used to remove slag from a welding area. Tabulate the different defects that can occur on electrodes and give the effect of each defect. Defect effect. A. Point of electrode covered with insulating material, no arc can be struck. B. Color code absent or unclear, difficult to choose the correct rod for a specific metal. C. Welding rod coating absent, current cannot be stabilized. Impurities on the surface of the metal cannot be melted away. Slag cannot be formed. Melting time delayed. An even weld is not possible. Protected arch cannot be obtained. Name two consequences that poor storage/storage conditions can have on electrodes. Electrodes rust. Damage to the coating. Briefly explain the welding term tack welding. Preliminary welding on the ends of the welded workpiece to ensure that the workpieces do not move apart due to the high welding temperature when welding. Briefly describe the process of how a welding arc is struck. Make sure that the earth cable clamp makes good contact with the welding table and workpiece. Use an electrode with the correct diameter that corresponds to the thickness of the workpiece. Adjust the amperes of the welding machine according to the table. Put on a welding helmet to protect your eyes. Start the welding by making a tight motion with the welding rod. A crackling noise is a sign that the welding is running smoothly. Make a zigzag motion with the electrode. When the electrode is stuck, bend the electrode back and pick it up. At the end of the weld, the snail must be removed with a hammer. Make a sketch of the welding arc. Cover. Core of the electrode. Molten metal. Melted flux. Shielding gas. Solidified flux. Electric arc. Melted pool. Describe the arc welding process. Electric arc welding is a process of fusion where electrical energy in the form of an arc is used to provide the necessary heat for the metals to melt. The different welding defects and the causes of each. Name of welding defect causes sketch. Insufficient penetration. Welding torch flame too small or amperes too low. Incorrect welding technique. Insufficient load preparation. Welding crater. Too large flame or too high. Arc current. Incorrect welding technique. Too thin electrode or rod undercutting. Too high amperage/current. Or too high flame. An incorrect electrode angle. An incorrect welding torch angle. Slag inclusion, the arc current is too low. Slag is not removed after each weld. An incorrect electrode angle. Improper preparation of welds. Insufficient penetration. Insufficient penetration, too small root gap. Arc current too low or welding torch flame too small. Electrode or rod too heavy. Gas holes. Dirty metal. Base metal melts too fast. Welding metal cooled too quickly. Porosity. Too high arc current or too large flame. Too sudden removal of the arc or burner causes the molten metal to be polluted by atmospheric gases. Wrong electrode or rod. Adhesion. Incorrect welding technique. Wrong electrode or rod. Concave welding. Too little welding material. Deposited. Too large flame or too high arc current. Unequal leg lengths. Wrong electrode angle. Wrong burner nozzle angle. Activity/assessment. Teacher must work out activities on the given content and provide them to the learners. Consolidation. The lesson covered all the content as required by the CAPS. The learners understand all the concepts and content.
Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more future educational videos.